CNL Sports Central, we cover March Madness game preview and prediction on the round of 32 matchup between the Auburn Tigers and the Miami Hurricanes. Both teams had good wins in the first round of action. Should make for a good matchup in the second round. We'll be going over a full game preview and prediction on this matchup here today. Starting out with your team trends. Auburn 20-5 heading into this matchup, and also a 2 seed in this tournament, in particular in the Midwest region. And of course, you got Miami, the 10 seed in that same region. They beat USC in the first round, which was a huge win. Miami was definitely considered a team that could very easily win that game, and they did. And USC, of course, being a good basketball team, that was a definitely an excellent win for Miami. They're 24-10 overall heading into this matchup, 14-6 in conference this season. And if you're looking at games against the top 25, Auburn was 3-2 this season, opposed to Miami, who was 1-2 overall against top 25 teams this season. So both teams really didn't play too many ranked opponents this season, especially Miami. They've only played 3. But of course, Auburn and the SEC was a good conference this season too, which the ACC you could say had a down season for sure. So you do have a bit of a difference in strength of schedule there. Games will be on Sunday, March 20th here tonight. Greenville, South Carolina, 7:45 p.m. Eastern is the tip-off. Spread's going Auburn here by 7. So Tigers are favored by a decent amount in this matchup, according to the spread. Over-under is 144, and your BPI is going with the Tigers here, 82.7%. So, I mean, especially the BPI is going heavily on the Auburn side for this matchup. And if you look at the tournament run for both these teams, Auburn beat Jacksonville State, the 15 seed. Jacksonville State, they hung around for a little while there at the start, but Auburn took off and dominated that game in the end, 80-61. And if you look at Miami, they beat USC in a close one, 68-66. That was an excellent game, went back and forth several times, and obviously a very equal matchup. Both teams were obviously going at it, and it was incredibly close as well. So for the Hurricanes to pull it out by 2 in the end was definitely a good win. And if you look at your stat comparison for this matchup, Auburn, 70.7 points a game. So this team knows how to score points. That is for sure. They're a quick offense, one of the fastest teams you could say in the country. And of course, if you look at their defense, 67 points allowed, definitely not a bad stat there either. BPI-wise, this team is ranked 12th, and in comparison to Miami, Miami's got 74.8 points a game, 71 points allowed, and their BPI is significantly lower than Auburn at 56. So that's definitely something to note there according to your BPI. But for Miami here, this is an offense that, they score a decent amount offensively, but, their defense hasn't been, honestly, they don't really stand out in either area. Both offensively and defensively, this team is decently good, but they just don't really stand out, once again, in either category there. But, of course, this team, they do know how to score points. 75 points a game is definitely a good stat. Some notable matchups as well. Of course, you got Auburn, who's played some top-tier opponents. Kentucky, good basketball team, turned out to be a bust in March Madness, but Auburn did beat them by 9. Lost to Tennessee by 5. They're a 3 seed in this tournament. They also got eliminated. Arkansas is still in. They're actually in the Sweet 16 now. And Auburn lost to them by 4. Alabama, this team was 2-0 against them. And they also beat Murray State at one point by 13. And if you look at Miami, they played Duke twice. Beat them once, lost them once. And then, of course, they lost to Alabama by 32. Just a terrible loss there. So the Hurricanes, you can see, this team definitely is impressive. They've had some good wins for sure. They beat Duke once. But there are games where this team, for example, loses to Alabama by 32 points. And, of course, if you look a little bit further down there, you see North Carolina, an 8 seed and a team that's currently in the Sweet 16, did just advanced over Baylor. Miami beat North Carolina by 28 at one point this season. So there you go. That's the inconsistency on this team. They can play at a very high level. We know the ceiling, but obviously they can have some tough losses there for sure as well. They're 1-1 against Virginia Tech, and they lost to Notre Dame as well by 4 at one point this season. Some key points for both these teams. Auburn, of course, 28-5 overall. Dominant win over Jacksonville State in the first round. Jabari Smith, major impact player. Obviously, he's been the big standout on this team. He's averaging over 17 points a game this season. And it's incredibly impressive what he's done as young of a player as he is. And so he's going to be a big-time player in the NBA for sure, looking into the future. But for this game, he's a major impact player. Definitely keep an eye on him. And for Miami, that's going to be a tough guy to keep an eye on. And, he's an excellent ball player. And so, Auburn's got tremendous talent, but they are a young team. And that is kind of what concerns me with the Tigers potentially making a deep run. I mean, Auburn, they haven't had this good of a season in a long time. I think this is, I may be wrong, but I think this is the best season that Auburn has ever had as a basketball program. So, this is a huge deal for Auburn, and, there's a bit of inexperience on this team, which is a bit surprising, but, Auburn definitely, this is a team that's got tremendous talent, but they do have a bit of an experience, that's for sure, on this team, and so that's going to concern me a little bit, with Auburn maybe making it to the Final Four eventually, but they're very capable of winning this game at least. And if you look at Miami coming off an excellent win against USC once again, they play consistently well down the stretch. If you look at them over the course of the last parts of the regular season, they overall were playing pretty well. And they in this game especially, they're going to need a solid game start to finish. Auburn's a very good basketball team. That's the thing. This is a very quick, a very fast basketball team here with Auburn. So in an instant, this Auburn team could get up by 10 points, and you'll find yourself in a hole, and it's going to be tough to recover from that, especially being a 10 seed in Miami. So, from start to finish, this Miami team needs to play very well and hang in there and potentially win it in the end. But that said, let's get to the prediction here for Auburn and Miami coming up here in the round of 32. I'm going Tigers here. 74-68 is my predicted final score, and I feel like Auburn, obviously the inexperience is the one main concern on this Auburn team, but otherwise, I really like this Auburn team to potentially make a run, win a couple more games here in this tournament for sure. And I think they get past Miami in this game. It's going to be, it could be close for a while. I think Miami's going to hang in there, but I just don't know if it's going to be like a game where Miami leads a lot. I think Auburn's going to lead most of this game, but Miami's going to kind of hang in there. But I do expect Auburn to win this game in the end. I'm going to go 55% towards the Tigers. Your over-under is 144. I'm going to take the under for this one, and I'm going to take the Hurricanes to cover as well. The spread is currently 7 points towards the Tigers. I do have Auburn winning it by 6 right now, which would lead Miami to cover. But, it could easily – this spread is tough to pick for this one. It could very easily go either way. Auburn could have a fast start and get up by 15 in the first half, and I just don't see Miami coming back at that point. And so you never know, but I'm going to go with Miami to cover the spread, the under, and Auburn to win this game in the end, 74-68. Let me know your thoughts and comments below on this game, and I appreciate you guys watching as always. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. Catch you on the next one.